you got to wonder. Jim, again, just want to, your phone was in and out on us here. The Draymond Green Jordan Poole thing, how much of an impact, if any, has that had on the beginning of this season?
Well, as I said, which you didn't hear, it's speculation that would affect things. I think more of the factor is they've lost Gary Payton II. They lost Otto Porter. The new guys haven't contributed as much. Obviously, when you have a physical injury, I thought DiVincenzo was going to be a really good player, but he's hardly played because he sprained his ankle early on. And things aren't going well, and they're not playing defense. I don't know where the defense has gone, but when you talk about the Warriors' defense, which is always very, very good, it's last in the league right now, and they're giving up a NBA high 121.4 points a game, and it's just unusual. So when you're the defense, and they're not closing games, they're not finishing games. They used to be able to finish games, but they haven't done that. Even though Curry's been terrific. Clay's still finding his way. He's good some nights. He's good some quarters, but he's not back to where he was. Jordan Poole is still a little inconsistent. I thought he might have a good game that last game in New Orleans, and instead he had a very bad game. And they could have. I think he could have made a difference, but he just couldn't get the ball in the basket and turned the ball over too many times. And the Warriors just aren't playing very well right now. But I don't think it has anything to do with what happened before. I think players and athletes, they're resilient, easy come, easy go. You're all still on the same team. And there were fights like that when I played amongst our teams and everything and other teams, but you get over it and you go on and you have a job to do, and that's what you do. And you don't think it's not as big a deal as people make it out to be.
How does Steve Kerr explain some of the struggles that you just listed off, namely the defense? Because that's been one of their calling cards throughout this stretch of success.
I know, but they are allowing other teams to get into the basket, points in the paint. They're getting killed points in the paint. They're not defending. They're not switching properly. And he's going to make up some lineup changes. We'll see what happens tonight. I did not. I wasn't privy to sit in on all the team meetings and everything and the coaches meetings, but we'll see what happens there a little bit. And also, they're still going with the small lineup. Okay, and Draymond Green, and instead of James Wiseman, you're starting Kevon Looney, who's 6'9", 6'8", 6'9", and they can't wait for Wiseman to produce. He's still, very young and at age 21, but he's also young and experienced and not playing many college games and not having experience that way. So he gets in foul trouble early, playing very, very few minutes. And so he's someone at 7 feet tall with long arms, can block shots and change shots inside. He's going to be really good. He's a terrific young man. But they've been getting beat on the boards, and it's taken a toll defending the rim, that's for sure.
Jim Barnett with us here, Warriors radio analyst. He's on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. You mentioned Jordan Poole, Jim, and some of the struggles he's had. He's off to a tough shooting start. Obviously, he got the big contract extension. Any reason for concerns just yet, or this is kind of the ebbs and flows of a season, and he's just off to a rough start?
I hope they're not stuck with a big contract like that, and he's not going to improve, or he's going to go. He's going to play like he played last year to earn the contract. I think he puts a little too much pressure on himself. I think he's trying too hard. I thought in New Orleans he dribbled the ball too much rather than pass it around and let the game come to him. He tried to make the game, and instead got in trouble with turnovers. And I think also, in the game against Miami, he was called for palming the ball, which is carrying the ball, 3 separate times. Wow. Everybody does it in this league nowadays. And I think that kind of spooked him a little bit, to tell you the truth. And he's probably second guessing going down the floor. Gee, I've got to be careful here. I don't want to get called for that again. And I think it took him off his game. So I'm not worried about him because he's proven in the past that he can shoot the ball. He can score. He's not afraid of anything. He just didn't have a great road trip.
I'm curious, what's your take on this Kings team and what this organization is trying to do, starting with the hire of a guy you know very well in Mike Brown, their head coach?
I think he's perfect for you. I think he's amenable to communication. He's going to be a good communicator. He can be hard and demanding on what he wants to be done, but I also think he understands, and he's got a nice voice about him. And I think he's a player-friendly coach. He's a great guy, and of course he was here for 6 years and worked right alongside Steve Kerr. He did, for everybody, and I think that he can get everybody to play, 1 through 9, 1 through 10, and keep everybody together. And by the way, I think your team is really built well, and this to me should be the best team you've had, I don't know, in a long, long time. I love Sabonis, that trade. This guy is really tough, and he's having a heck of a year so far. His field goal percentage and his rebounding, he's really, really tough. De'Aaron Fox is, he finally living up to the contract. I thought, Sacramento overpaid for him. I didn't think he was that good of a shooter, but he's having a heck of a year shooting, and his 3-point percentage has improved vastly. He can get to the basket and make plays, and he's very, very quick. So if he can keep that kind of shooting that he's doing right now, then you got a good deal with him. Harrison is going to be down a little bit because other people are coming up. Kevin Huerter, if I pronounce it right, in his 5th year, he's only 24 years old, and he can score. And I like him. You've got a lot of high picks. The 4th pick in the draft, the 7th pick in the draft, the 9th pick, the 5th pick. You've got a really good team, and it looks like to me you've got some people off the bench that can play and give you and spell the minutes like that. So if somebody gets hurt, you can put someone in there. I know your record's 3-5, but I think you're going to improve as the season goes on.
Jim, thanks. We appreciate the time. We know you're pretty tight with the game tonight. We appreciate you.
Hey, I appreciate your flexibility. Let me come on, and we'll do it again sometime. And I'm looking forward to watching the game because I don't work the home games. I only work the road games, but I'll be there. And I really like your team. And so I think you're going to surprise people.
Thanks, Jim. I appreciate that. There goes Jim Barnett, Golden State Warriors radio analyst on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.